Last week on the Lazy Scrapbooker Under Pressure School's Out, I found out 10 days was not enough. It was a busy week with preparations for graduation and Nathaniel's party and very little scrapbooking. I made the big decision to prioritize family and enjoying the festivities and scaled back my project to complete the baseball albums and save the high school album for later. And I am still glad I made that decision. And I finished the baseball album the night before, or make that early morning of, Nathaniel's party. Now let's see what happened this week in episode 4, Time Well Spent.
Hi, I'm Donna Guest, the Lazy Scrapbooker and Creative Memories Advisor. Join me here in this series while I'm planning, organizing, and creating scrapbooks to celebrate my son's graduation from high school in time for his party. And this time, I gave myself about 10 days to do it all.
It's party day. We had decorated the day before, so I was able to get some good sleep on Saturday morning. The first scrapbook visible was the little 8x8 I made for the Creative Memories School Days video. It covers preschool through graduation. That could have been enough, but you know it wasn't all we had. So the first thing I did that morning was put the final pages I completed the night before into the baseball album. That was the easiest task I could think of to start a busy day. I had my wonderful sister-in-law Jenny help me assemble the 8x8 scrapbook for people to sign, and then she and Jeff made beautiful cupcakes. For this lovely plate, I needed a round piece of parchment paper to put the graduation cap treats on. The Creative Memories circle cutter to the rescue. Perfect! The party started at 4 o'clock, and I am happy to say it was a huge success. Nathaniel's ideal graduation party was nothing too big. He wanted baseball friends, family, an obscene amount of food and fizzy drinks, and what turned out to be a very organized game of wiffle ball in the backyard. It was heartwarming to watch these 17 to 19-year-old guys have fun like little kids playing ball with a plastic bat. And all windows and geese were safe. And there was a great surprise I'd been keeping. Nathaniel's childhood best friend from kindergarten through second grade surprised him. And you know I won't show faces of other people's kids here, but these guys hadn't seen each other in 5 years. He and his wonderful family were visiting Atlanta from out of state, and this was just the best surprise Nathaniel could have. And look, here they are looking at scrapbooks. How much do you love that? Nathaniel had the best day with family, friends, and baseball. It was everything we wanted for him. And on Sunday, we slept in, and then took a nap later. Okay, this is Nicholas, but you get the picture.
Always want to use a repositionable tape runner so that you can easily lift that up and change that.
Each Tuesday night, I have a Tuesday tip on my Facebook page where I go live on Facebook and show a tool tip or a layout idea. The Tuesday after the party, and after 2 days of recuperating, I went live doing a demo of the missing title page for the second baseball album. I used my favorite recipe template, the Retired Sunburst, but I still didn't have the picture we had in mind. A while back, Nathaniel had an idea for a photo wearing all 3 of his championship rings at once. His team won a three-peat of the County Interpark Rec League Championships. He showed me what he'd do, and I laughed and said, "Oh, we're doing that." And to myself, that is going to be our cover page. So on Wednesday, I drove Nathaniel to the ballpark and luckily found it vacant in beautiful weather to get this perfect shot. We got it printed the same day so I could complete the title page.
I think I'll add some foam squares to this one, just for this cover page. It's a pretty big album already, but this is pretty special. And our foam squares come in a variety pack now, so you get all different sizes. I'm using the extra large ones for this photo. Now let's apply it. Because I left such a giant space here, and you know the template has the ability to put more paper here, I was able to mat this and put the dates under it so that I'm going to cover all that up. I'm careful to center it because once you put down foam squares, they're down. I love it. I am so happy with my decision to pull back on the project and just get what I needed to do, which was the baseball albums. I'm going to do the high school album probably coming up on my retreat this month, and Nathaniel is going to love it. Like Nathaniel said, it's mostly the baseball team that's coming anyway, so they're not going to care as much about the high school album, which was a really good point. And I got to tell you, I saw so many of those guys looking through those 2 baseball albums and looking at pictures of themselves and the team and remembering all that. That made it worth it. And Nathaniel himself has probably looked at both of those albums at least 5 times since they were finished. So what albums did I have on display at the party? Well, a ton. I used the entire dining room table to display so many albums. I had his preschool album, his kindergarten album. I had the third and fourth grade album, the fifth grade album. I had the middle school album. That was a table full of albums, and I saw lots of people looking through them. And then on a table behind our sofa that is right there when you go out the door to the deck, and a lot of people were going in and out, I had both of the baseball albums, and I saw so many people looking at those. Also, I spent a lot of time putting together that slideshow once I got that idea from our friend's party that we went to. It was wonderful. It had photos, I put in videos, and the most fun, I added trivia questions that Nathaniel had a lot of fun with me making up. We both had fun doing those. And finally, I got the idea probably 2 days before. I said I would put an 8x8 together so people could sign. So I did just that. I even had my sister-in-law, Jenny, who's not a scrapbooker, put this together for me. I had already pre-cut the photo mats. I was worried that I wouldn't have places for photos because people would like to just sign wherever. So I put a photo mat down on one side and left everything else blank with the exception of some cute little embellishment stickers. And we got so many people to sign that, and I got so many people's pictures, so I'm going to be able to put that album together as well. So with all those albums, the 8x8 to sign, the baseball albums, and the slideshow with videos and trivia questions, there was more than enough for people to look at and enjoy. And it all celebrated Nathaniel, and he loved all of it. So the only things missing were the first and second grade album, which I had said I'm not going to get those done, and I can go back and do those at some point. And also, of course, the high school album, which is in a power layout box. It's ready. I just got this many pictures developed, though, of graduation and the graduation party. It's probably about 150 photos. I've forgotten already. But I'm going to get those into a power layout. And if I don't get them done at my retreat this coming weekend, I've got my advisor team retreat 2 weeks after that. So I'll finish it up then. Let's take a quick look. I'll do a fast flip through for the albums I had on display, and hopefully you'll get lots of ideas. This is the little 8x8 album I completed for Creative Memories to be in their video featuring their School Days Fast-to-Fab album. This album goes from preschool all the way to graduation. And honestly, this could have been enough, but you know I wasn't going to leave it at that. But you know what? If you're in a pinch and you don't have time and you haven't done all these scrapbooks I've been doing over the years, this album would be perfect. You get 2 days per grade, and look how many pictures I got on the page. I do a lot of fussy cutting to get rid of unnecessary backgrounds and to fit more on the page. And when I made the video for Creative Memories, it went to here. It stopped at 11th grade. And so we got to come and add 12th grade very recently. And then I've just added I had this one in the book for the party. Now I need to add something, a picture or two from the actual party itself, and it will be done. This book was on the first table when you came into the house where it had a lot of decoration. You've probably seen that already in the video. This is the 3rd and 4th grade album. It's a plain book cloth with a custom spine with the name of the school and the years. And I just chose these colors because they were the 2 school colors and I didn't have to match the spine to the book cloth, because this was kind of old. All right, so I'm going to go through this one pretty quickly because I know I've already made a video for my YouTube channel of this one. Now, while most of my pages are real simple, these are not. These pages are so decorative for me. A lot going on with these. And the main reason is just because they're so fun, so many different topics. I love these. I'll reduce a lot of things and put it in here. But also, I was using a lot of these pages as samples at the time when I would teach a class. I remember this was a class sample right here because I would never do anything that decorative on my own. So I would make samples and just use pages from this album that I already had in a power layout. And I've got a lot of pocket pages here. So that's one reason they are so, not all of them, but some of them are so decorative. Look, you can do multiple peekaboo pockets if you want. Now that one's just crazy. That's using the triangle border maker cartridge, the mirrored triangles border maker cartridge. I believe it's retired now, but that was a lot of border there. A lot going on there. Again, I know this was for a class that I taught. Peekaboo pocket, you can put in both sides of a program if you need to. So this one does 3rd and 4th grade. So I've got 2 years in one. The idea was to do 3 years at this one school. And this because he went to this school after we moved from 3rd to 5th grade. But you know what? There's just so much in here. And so I kept so much. I couldn't part with it. And then so much happens in 5th grade. They have so many special trips and programs and this and that, you know, it just had to have its own album. And these albums are really, really big. All right, there we go. Almost equally as big as the 3rd and 4th grade album is the 5th grade album. That's just one school year. Look at that. Oh my goodness. So it's the same color combination for the same school. At least I have that consistent. And like, I need to go back and write in all of these. But this whole album is 5th grade. And I know I'm going through kind of quick. You could certainly pause if you want to see a little more of something. But these are pretty simple pages. I use a lot of Fast to Fab paper as well. Whenever you see Fast to Fab paper, you want to snap that up because we don't have it for every collection. Oh, the last times we were able to go to lunch at school. Remember that in elementary school when you could go meet your kid for lunch? You can't do it after that. Oh, I loved this one. I remember people looking at this at the party, and I got a lot of comments on this. It's really cute. He had to develop a food truck concept, and he thought of Mount Tastemore. I can't remember if Jeff steered him in that direction or not, how much help he had. I know I helped him design this, but it was so fun, and it really helped him, you know, he loves learning about presidents. It was very much an interesting topic for him at this age. And so my favorite's the beverages. The large is the William Taft, and the small is the James Madison, because they were the largest and smallest presidents, respectively. So that was just a lot of fun, and he made 100 on it. So proud of him. Oh gosh, the last Valentine's Day for school. We really went all out. We made little bags that looked like R2-D2. No. We made little bags. Sorry. We made little bags that look like stormtroopers. That's what they are. Ooh, I'm embarrassed. And the little trash can that we drove all the way to the Container Store in Atlanta to get, we turned him into R2-D2. Thanks to Pinterest. Oh, the last time I was ever a mystery reader. Oh my gosh. I got a great book suggestion from my neighbor because I was really torn. What kind of book do you read for 5th graders? They're starting to get a little old and you don't want it to be too babyish. I highly recommend Owen and Emsey. It's a story about a friendship between a tortoise and a hippo, a baby hippo. Oh my gosh, I had to read it like 5 times so I could get through it without tearing up. It's so sweet. And so we made snacks. Jeff helped me make snacks to take in, and we had all these plated. I mean, it was it was over the top. But we had snacks that mimicked the tortoise and the hippo. The hippo was just a little cookie, but the tortoise really cute with grapes cut in half and kiwi. It was so fun. I always loved doing mystery reader and getting to see him at school. And the kids love the book. So again, I highly recommend. And I love doing this. I threw out all these papers, but I scanned them and then put the JPEGs in Word documents and then printed them really tiny because his handwriting is really large anyway, so I could still see everything. And I just love how it looks in the album. And it's so fun to go back and see all that work. Really precious. Why I don't have a picture of him dressed as William McKinley, I have no idea. There's a video of it. I should have made a screenshot. I still could, and I could put it right in here. Or here. Spelling is my favorite thing, not just for the words, but for the sentences. His sentences, they're just the best. I love his sentences. And they still are. We were playing a word game together on my phone, and every time we solved a word, he would just say it in the form of a sentence, and it made me laugh every time. I don't think this was schoolwork. I think this was just doodling. Cute. Ah, the incline railway. I got this idea to decorate this a little bit better with a metallic silver pen. My sister Lori does that every time she uses the train track border, and it really looks good. I don't know if you could see that from there, but that silver pen using a ruler is what makes it. And of course, it's the incline railway, so get it. And I was a chaperone on that, fortunately, so I got to go on this long all-day field trip that started at 6 in the morning, and we got home at like midnight. And my main goal, other than I'm so glad I was there and got to take pictures, I was just trying to keep these 5 boys alive, because we went to the Rock City. That's it. See, Rock City. We went to Rock City. Yeah, there it is. And this is Ruby Falls. But Rock City, there are no pictures at Rock City except for this from the bus when it was raining, because I was trying to keep 5 boys alive, and it was a very dangerous place. They were all curious. They were like leaning over fences, and I was pretty nervous that whole time. Oh, I loved his drama after school program. So fun. A lot of pictures from that. And then awards day. Really starting to look grown up here. And there is a 5th grade parade. And that's the end of that one. This one, I'm really proud to have had this done. It is his middle school album. All 3 years are in this. So I felt like that was a huge accomplishment. And I had it done pretty quickly after he finished middle school. So I don't know what happened to me when he got to high school. He started baseball, and I started focusing on that album. But I've got 6th grade in here, and I'll go pretty fast, of course. Oh, that's cute. It's a quilt that we had made. One of my good friends makes these beautiful quilts, and so we had it made out of t-shirts that he had in elementary school. So it's his elementary quilt, I call it. It's so cool. She did a beautiful job. And now we've got band in middle school. I even have where he filled out the little choices of his first choice was drum, second choice trumpet. And there we are with a snare drum in the house, because every house needs a snare drum. Color Wars, I don't know what that was. It was a fundraiser, but it also, we got green on a lot of things. He sat everywhere in the house before he took a shower, apparently. Just everywhere. I kept all the programs, and of course, you know, we had to have 2 so I could do back and front very easily. How fun. Oh, I remember helping with this. It's my birthday, and this is how I spent my birthday evening, is helping him with this project. But he did a great job, and he got 100. Now this one, he did a wonderful presentation on Albert Einstein. So I have all his little note cards. If this kid can do anything, it is give a speech. He's quite good at that. And he took care of all the work for the first time himself with no help from anyone except, you know, I bought him a wig, mustache, and a gentleman's pipe. And the presentation was great, I hear, but we have no picture whatsoever of him in that getup. And I hate that. As a scrapbooker, we like to have the pictures. I miss the days like when we were all in school and you got an actual report card. This time you got to go seek it out and print it out. So I wasn't real consistent with that. But I showed where he earned money. $5 for every A and $3 for every B. And here he was nominated by his teacher for Breakfast of Champions. And it recognizes not grades, but character. So I was really proud of him for that. And a nice letter from his teacher. She was wonderful. Oh, their school has an Olympic program, which is so fun. It's all kinds of, not just athletic competition, but look, name that tune. Nathaniel, I got to say, he was a ringer. He was a ringer. He knows. You play a song, he's going to tell you what it is and who it's by. It's amazing. So his team won first place. And he also won the Hero Award, which is given to one boy and one girl for each of the 3 teams. And I just love I got a video of this that someone sent me, and I typed down what the teacher that presented it said about him, and it just, I cry when I watch the video because it's so, so wonderful. It was a great moment for him. And so I've got pockets here to put all this work in that I kept. I guess I felt like keeping the whole thing and not scanning it. I get sick of scanning things. And then we go to 7th grade, and I added some of these little white tabs here so that I could identify 7th and 8th grade. And that worked out pretty well. Oh, I love this memory. We had 2 tickets to the Braves game, but it was on the same night as the parent-teacher orientation, where you just go and meet all the teachers. So you can tell here who got to go to the Braves game and who got to go to parent night. They had a good time. And they got to go to a Braves game and play in the Battery area outside, which is really cool. More band concerts. More report card money. Oh, I love this. This one is where he cleaned out a binder, 1 binder, and got all that. It was pretty good, though. He did it on his own. I asked him if it was just everyone or just him, and he said, I think just me. So I should have taken a before picture. He did it all on his own while singing the 1987 tune, Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. He does love music. Last day of 7th grade. Starting to get unrecognizable. They're really growing up. Wow, what a good 8th grade picture. I have the worst 8th grade picture anyone has ever taken in life, and this kid comes out with this one right here. That's so good. Love it. I try to put a lot of little extra photos in here that I just have, like, oh, you look nice going to school. Let me take your picture. And so I ended up with a lot of these. I love them. It just shows, you know, what he wore at the time. I love this page. I think these are all Facebook posts that I included with lots of stories. Look at that room. He does love his baseball cards. And then virtual school. So he was in 8th grade in spring of 2020. So when COVID came around, then we had to have school at home. And it went about as you think it might go. But it wasn't bad. I enjoyed having him at home, but I hate that he missed out on so many things, so many experiences. So I try to document everything. Enjoying an omelet outside after class, not bad. A few driving lessons at age 14 with me, but he's not really interested in that, so I got a photo to prove he did it. I even took a picture of the grocery list where he would go in and add his own things like pickles and lemon water mix. Has nothing to do with school, but I need to document it. The first time he ran a full mile. And then we have the last day of 8th grade and a neighborhood parade, which was fun to do for the kids. And that's it. I also had these displayed. They are the 2 digital albums I made years ago when Creative Memories did this type of hardcover digital album. Currently, our digital albums are printed. You can do them on our website, but they are printed on traditional scrapbook pages that will go into a traditional book cloth album. So we don't do this type anymore. And ours now, it's a lot easier. This to me was work. It was so much work. But I won't show all these because they have so many pictures of other people's little kids and like close-ups and things. So I won't show all those, but they're super cute albums. I will show you, you know, I scanned work like this. It was so much scanning. I got sick of scanning. To me, it's easier when I could scan it, put a JPEG on a Word document, and then just print it out and cut it. I don't know why that's easier than this. That doesn't make sense to me, but it's certainly made for a cute album. All right, Nathaniel, out of all the scrapbooks that I had displayed at your party, which was your favorite?
My favorites are the 2 baseball scrapbooks.
I thought you would say that. Let's look at those next. Here is volume 1 of the baseball albums, and it covers 2020 to 22. It's actually 2 years, 4 seasons. I still need to write an inscription here in my own handwriting on the inside cover. These pages, as you can see, are pretty simple, of course. A lot of block layouts, a lot of baseball paper, and just very simple borders and titles. That's really cute. I used a lot of cardstock just to have the team colors of orange and navy in here, and then sometimes I would use other colors. This is from the Creative Memories now retired Grand Slam theme pack that I still wish we had. It has the best baseball paper. This isn't it. That's pretty cute though. Sometimes I had to go to other sources. Oh, those cleats. He actually walked on carpet with those, not thinking. It took a while to get out. But I documented every milestone since he was a new player. It's a lot of fun. So much fun to look at. This is the Creative Memories baseball paper. It's the best. I wish we still had it. And I would do a title page with each new season. They played in fall and in spring. I used a lot of orange and navy cardstock to go with the team colors, especially a lot of shimmer, just because I like it. And denim worked out pretty well on a lot of these pages. I even made him journal in some cases, and I love that. This is one where I think, yes, this is where I had videoed something, and I actually made screenshots of a video on my phone, and of course that produces a JPEG, and then I had the JPEGs printed so I could document another milestone, and it really made for some good pictures. They're not terribly, good resolution, but it's great to have that. That's the geometric frame border punch, if you're wondering. And I did a good job of being very consistent season to season, where I'd have their whole schedule with every detail. It's probably too much detail, but wins, losses, scores, and then of course a new page for each new season. This I've done so many times. This is my favorite of the recipe templates. It's retired now, but it's called Sunburst. And I am not one that has to have matching pages on both sides. As you know, if you watched the flip through of my husband's albums, they do not have to match for me, especially when it's two separate occasions like these. The milestones, I was even consistent to put the titles in little circles like that, so it just stands out. And this is one of my favorite layouts. It's so simple. It's just 2-inch borders here and then a little strip right here. And I did that with the decal blade of the 12-inch trimmer by Creative Memories. It gives it just kind of a little neatly torn edge. We're coming in on the close of this album. I love this. I need to make a video of this actual layout here, because I will say it's not really on brand for me. It's not lazy. It's not easy, but it looks super cool to have all those photos cut in that circle like that. And of course you can do that with the custom cutting system, Jumbo Circle. Uh-oh, I need a journal right there. I'll let that one get past me. All these milestones were so fun because the kids he's playing with, they're so great. They've all been playing since they're, between 5 and 10 years old. And Nathaniel started when he was 15 in this league. So it was really fun. They were so supportive, and they cheered for every one of his milestones, which just is wonderful. Awesome. There's the end of the first album. Now let's look at the second. Here's volume 2, and you can see I have a custom spine for both of these, just with Ackworth Warriors baseball and then the years. And of course I have the years again here. I need to write something again. This was the last page I did, and it's that Sunburst recipe template. This time I went all the way to the edge instead of having a border around it. So it looks pretty cool. That was rough. We thought he had broken his nose for a bit. It was fine. Swelling went down. Got hit in the face. I can't remember the name of this. It's the Circle something. I can't remember the Border Maker cartridge, but I like it because it looks like baseballs, and I use it all the time in here. Someone will comment. One of you will know the name of that. I throw my boxes away, and I don't label them. I like this. It's very asymmetrical. I have a video on this where using up all those extra stickers comes in handy on the side, and then having a border and a background here. But for here, I just extended the background to right there and cut the border off here and had all this plain white background. So again, very asymmetrical, but I like that. Oh, I love this. Best game ever, and forever. I will just want to cry because I wasn't there. It was while I was hosting a retreat out of town. I had to miss his game, and it was his best game ever. But my husband, Jeff, did a great job of documenting everything. I mean, he got 2 hits in 1 inning, which was very unusual. He got to pitch, which was very unusual, and he struck someone out. Someone hit a pop-up that was caught out, and then he fielded a ball to get the final out. So just how exciting. And I just would give anything to go back in time and get to see that. I even include all of these. Jeff consistently does notes in his phone for every game, for every at-bat and every highlight for Nathaniel's game. So I started printing those out after a while and putting them. This one was definitely worth printing out. And he's very honest. He'll put if it was a bad at-bat or not, which amuses Nathaniel a little bit. Oh, I need to journal right there. I'm going to make Nathaniel journal that, actually. I like to print out screenshots on Game Changer. Just do a screenshot and print it as a photograph when it's something special like that. At first, I was just excited to see his name on the screen. And then, you know, after a while, it's more fun if it's something exciting. They're simple, but I just really love the way these turned out. And I did a lot of journaling too. All the stories that we wanted to remember. And I use the Creative Memories white lined paper. That's the only way I can write straight. Otherwise, it would be an absolute mess. These are kind of fun to cut out from that Creative Memories Grand Slam pack. I got that idea from one of my team members on her page. I just loved it. So now I just, yeah, do it a lot. I really, really love that I have all of this documented for him because he enjoyed it so much and he loves this album, or both of these albums. These are two of my favorite pages, just scrapbooking wise. I love doing borders like this with the decorative 12-inch trimmer. I know I have videos on how to do that, how to make it look like ribbon like that if you've not done that. And now we're in the last 2 seasons, which is what I was scrambling to complete over the last 10 days. Normally that would have been super easy, but with all the things going on, it was a lot more challenging than I thought. I even scanned and reduced in size a couple of senior letters that were from this family friend right here, who's one of Nathaniel's biggest baseball supporters, and included those here in the album. And here I am printing out all the different stats that Jeff, or just not stats, but just the at-bat activity, whatever you want to call that. I have to think about it. Strikeout looking, walk, and hit by pitch. HBP. I have to ask about those or just think about them for a minute. Oh, and then sad, it's the last game. And then the senior letter from his wonderful coach that he had for pretty much all 4 of the years. Baseball may not be over for him, though, because during this talk at the last game, the coach announced that he is really close to starting an 18 and up league. And Nathaniel turned around to look at me with the biggest smile on his face and told me afterwards, I really want to do that if I have time. He'll have time. I know I said this one was going to be just 4 episodes, but I'm going to promise a 5th episode because I want you to see that high school album once I finished it. I don't think it's going to be next weekend, but once I have that one done, I'll post it on here and you'll have an episode 5 to see the high school album and also the 8x8 album once I've put that together. Thank you all so much for coming on yet another journey with me, creating scrapbooks super fast. Who knows what project I'm going to tackle after this. So on behalf of me, Nathaniel, Jeff, and Nicholas, thanks for joining us on this much shorter series. And if you haven't watched the first one on my husband's albums, you'll want to check it out. We'll see you later. Thanks again for watching. You're a good boy.